I'm Ryan Jenkinson and welcome to our short video on hybrid drumming. Through the course of this video, we're hopefully going to give you a bit of an idea about how to make your existing acoustic drum kit into a hybrid drum kit and hopefully answer a few questions along the way. Musical landscapes change for us drummers because technology's pushed the boundaries of what's possible further and further. So when it comes to taking your new record out on the road, maybe the 4 or 5 drums you've got in front of you aren't going to cut it. So why not add thousands more drums, but without having the hassle of having to set them up? With a hybrid setup, you can have thousands of sounds all here. You can have hand claps, you can have claves, cowbells, you can even have explosions and sound effects. But they're all here, ready, just at the hit of a stick. So once you've got your hybrid set up, how are we going to play the new electronic sounds? Okay, well there's many ways. The first of all is by playing the onboard pads on either the sample pad or the percussion pad. Just by hitting these, whichever sounds that you assign to them will play out through your front house. The second way is to add additional pads, which you can position around your kit. The first one's a kind of mesh pad, so it's already a real kind of drum feel. And then the second one's a space-saving bar pad. So you can again fit that into your existing setup to make it comfy. Okay, the last way is to actually trigger your acoustic drums. So you're not going to be hitting anything extra. Every time you hit one of your acoustic drums, like this snare drum, it'll also trigger a snare drum sound or any other sound you want simultaneously via your sample or your percussion pad. So the reason I use a hybrid setup is because we spent so long in the studio trawling over getting the right kick drum, the right snare drum sounds, that when it comes to taking it live, I'd kind of like to use those same kick drum and snare drum sounds, but blend them with the sound of the acoustic kit. So we get a really overdriven 909 big fat kick drum, blend it with the big fat kick drum sound that comes out of a 22x20, and really the drum sounds every single night bang on. Amazing, so I couldn't go back now. So when it comes to triggering your acoustic drums, let me show you how easy it is. We've got the trigger on our snare drum and we've got the trigger on our kick drum. So here's just the acoustic sounds. And for the snare. So now I'm going to turn the volume up on the sample pad so you'll also hear what I'm triggering. Okay, so this is the kick drum. So that's a sound you're not going to get out of an acoustic drum, but simply by assigning that to the kick drum trigger, it'll play every time I hit it. Now let's try that on the snare. Now I've gone slightly different with this, and I've set this trigger to trigger a crazy sort of really messed up synthy sound hand clap. So have a listen. It sounds crazy on its own, but in a beat, so if you're looking to go hybrid, it's not actually as hard as you might think. Just take your existing acoustic drum kit and then add an electronic sound source. Now if you've got an electronic kit, you could use your existing module. If not, you can use a sample pad, a digital percussion pad, and then you need to find a way to trigger it. So to trigger it is just to play it. So you can play it by using the onboard pads or by adding extra things to hit around your kit like mesh pads or bar pads, or by using these guys on your acoustic drums to trigger the sound.